Today, I just want to, so since we are in the job readiness part, I just want everyone to have a little know-how on how to work on your resumes. So for those of you who was present in the previous class, I tried to briefly share my experience with Workforce Solutions, Greater Dallas, Texas Workforce. So first I started with Workforce as a job developer. So as a job developer, I had the privilege to go out to the community and meet employers in person. So I would ask them if they have active open positions, and I would ask them the job descriptions. I would ask them about their expectations, and I will bring those information to the workforce office and see the case managers have someone in their case who has those qualities or skill set. And then I will ask the employer and workforce to sign some type of memorandum so that we can place our job seekers with those employers. So for almost a year and a half, I did that. So that really gave me a good experience to know employers' expectation. And if I can take one thing, just only one thing from that experience, what I would say is I know most of us focus on the skill set, focus on the job skills. But to be honest with you, much of the interview and much of the employer's expectations is basically on your attitude, on your character, behavior than the skill set. You know, they better hire someone who is humble, someone who's dependable, someone who always comes with a positive attitude that doesn't have any skill set, because either way, they are going to train you in that field. So they prefer to have a person with a good moral, with a good character, than someone who's expert in that case, but is a troublemaker, you know, arrogant, or some type of, you know, and someone who comes with a negative vibe every morning. They don't really want to deal with that issue because the work by itself gives them some type of headache. So they really don't want to add another headache in their daily routines. So I know we mainly focus on jobs skill set, which is good, but at the same time, we have to focus on our behavior, character, attitude as well. That's what most employers first notice, first look from job seekers. Then after that, I was promoted to another role as talent engagement specialist. So that was basically, that gave me a chance to work with job seekers, mainly who were receiving unemployment benefits. As you know, Texas only pays unemployment insurance for 26 weeks, right? Not due to the pandemic. I know the pandemic, they were more graceful, but prior to the pandemic, it was only for 26, a maximum of 26 weeks. So if a job seeker, if a person who is, you know, collecting unemployment benefits reach week 20, then they are on the verge of exhausting their benefits. They need intensive job search assistance. So they will send those people, Texas Workforce will send those people to us, to the TESs, so that we can help them with their resume, we can help them with their interview skill, we can help them with their job search techniques, and then, you know, partner with some employers and then try to place these individuals before they run out of their benefits. So I did that for almost 2 years, and it was a very rewarding responsibility, because you would definitely help. You will see people, you know, shifting from the lowest level of frustration to the highest level of satisfaction. You will see people coming crying, feeling hopeless. You help them with their resumes. You help them with their interview skills. You give them some job leads with real employers, not scam employers. And you even talk to employers on their behalf, and you do the recommendation, and they get the job, and they are able to feed their family. That gives a huge level of satisfaction. That was really a rewarding job. And I did that for 2 years. Then I was asked by my management to go and supervise a new center. So Workforce, the Dallas board opened the 9th Workforce Center on Greenville Avenue in Carruth Haven. So I was asked to supervise that center. It was a new center on the 2nd floor, very high, on a skyride building, very nice location. I did that for 2 years. And then Collaborate reached out to me with a vital reskilling program, and here I am. So I'm happy that I joined this program, even though I joined late, but I joined on a very important time, because the time that I missed is mainly the coursework time. Now the time we each are moving to the job readiness and the placement part. So I'm happy that I can do my part in this journey. So we will have some other instructors, we will have some other people who will contribute their expertise to help you in your job readiness journey. But at the same time, I will also give you some of the tips that I had from experience by working with employers and job seekers. Everyone ready? Mm-hmm. So far, you good with what you hear from me?
Yes.
Okay. I know for Rudolph, because you attended cohort B, 2nd section, this will be a repetition for you, which is a good thing. For cohort B, this is the 2nd IPVC orientation. So we're gonna go over some tips on resume preparation. Okay, so I know the hardest and roughest part of job readiness is working on resume. It looks easy, but that's the very hard part of the job readiness. So if you have something to write on, I would recommend to have a piece of paper, because these tips will definitely help you when you work on your resumes. And I'm gonna say this, I said this to the cohort A class, I am willing to work on your resume. If you just go and take these tips and do your resume, and then if you want, if you want me to look at it and do a review on my side, I will put my email, and you can email me your resume, and I will take time to review it. I'll do the critique, and then I will send it back to you. Okay. And it gives me a lot of joy when I really work on resumes, because I know I know what impact that will have on someone's career, someone's future. So I would love doing that. So send me. I don't think that I will be overwhelmed. Send me your resume. I will definitely review it and send it back to you. Okay. So
once I saw that book, I don't think you could be overwhelmed.
Yes. Yes. You know what? You reminded me. Let me show them that book. So if you can see this, this is a resume, a best resumes book. So you can't find it. You can't buy it. This is basically produced for HR professionals and resume professionals. So you have to be a member of those, associations to get things like this. And it gives you close to 200 resume sample resumes, 200, and then cover letter, and also and thank you notes. So I would share some of the tips that I got from this book. So there is no industry that is not touched by this book. All industries are touched by this book. So I will definitely have something to offer today. Okay, before I do that, let me share this. I believe some of you might have a chance to work on your work in Texas profile. I know, because the names that I see here are the names who were going to workforce offices to do their VR labs. So I know the first thing they ask you when you go to work offices is, do you have a profile in work in Texas? They just make sure that you have a profile. So let me share a few things here. Here we go. So workintexas.com. I love Work in Texas. Why? Two simple reasons. One, every day they have so many openings. 882,000 openings right now. in work in Texas. And 162,000, almost 163,000 new jobs posted this week. There is no job board. There is no job board that has this much open positions in 1 week. And more than everything, you see how many active employers they have in this database? 32,000 employers have active positions in work in Texas. One, it's up to date. That's why I love work in Texas. Second thing, all these employers that you see in work in Texas are legit employers. Before this is a database by Texas Workforce Commission. So before employers have an account in work in Texas to do their posting, they have to provide tax identification number, which means you will not be exposed to scam employers if you utilize work in Texas. When you go to Indeed, ZipRecruiter, all the other job boards, they are very helpful. I have no problem with them, but they don't have that much mechanism like work in Texas to protect you from scam employers.
Yep.
There are so many scam employers nowadays, and they know that job seekers in a desperate need, they are vulnerable for identity theft. You feel like you are filling out an application, but they are taking your personal information. So you are exposed to identity theft when you use other job boards, unless you are pretty smart on how to use it. I'm not saying I don't use Indeed, but this is what I do when I use Indeed. You see, when I tap, it comes. Can you see my screen, Indeed?
Yes.
Okay, so let's say, for example, if I want project manager or coordinator position in Dallas-Fort Worth, and I don't say find jobs. I go first to advance it. Oh, it's up there, find jobs, I think, yeah. So I go right here. Before I click on any job, I come right here and you see advanced job search. I click on that one. It will take me to this window and I go all the way down. And then I only pick, you can just pick full-time, part-time. But this is the main thing. I only pick employer websites only. So on Indeed, you still can be smart to do your job search, but it requires you to be more specific. And then I, right here, you can pick how many miles you want to go. And I usually pick 7 days or 15 days so that I can get the new jobs, find jobs. And this is what I do. Okay, now I see. Okay, construction project coordinator. Let's say this is the position that I'm interested in. Rather than click on apply now, I would copy the name of the employer, go to a new page and search for that employer. I'll go to their website and find that position. This way, I am not exposed to scam employer because I'm applying, I'm putting my application directly to that employer. I'm not doing applications through Indeed. I understand most people want things easy way. I know it's much easier to put your application through Indeed because especially if you upload your resume on Indeed, with one single click, you can apply for that position. But you are exposed for identity theft. So I would rather take a long route, a little bit harder steps, and protect myself. That's an old-fashioned way. I would prefer it that way. So I'll go to the employers website, find their career or job posting place, and then apply there. Let's see, services, rollout, ground, our work, news. So you just find the place where it says career or jobs and put your application there. Okay, so you still can do that by using Indeed. But the good thing is when you utilize Work in Texas will also take you to those employers who have postings. So employers, the posting that you see in Work in Texas are not only those employers who come and have account in Work in Texas. It spread out to other job boards, and it will gather other hiring events or job postings as well. Okay, so please make sure have a Work in Texas full. And once you have Work in Texas, you put your username and password, click I'm not robot, and then sign in. And when you go to this first page, the blue verbiage that says view your personal profile and contact information. So you click on that one and make sure every information is up to date, like your phone number, email address, because employers might have a chance to go to Work in Texas and see your profile and they might contact you. So make sure that you have the most up-to-date information. Once you do that, you go to this 3-bar menu, click on it, and click on job search. Okay. And there is a quick way, there is an advanced way, intelligent way. There are several ways. You can even put your resume, and then the resume, the system seeing your resume will try to attract positions available that fit your skill set, put in your resume. So, but to make it easy, I'll put medical equipment preparers, Dallas, Texas, search. And you will see all these jobs. Starlight processing take. And then all you need, what happened? So all you need to do is just go to this and then click on it to apply for that position. And right here, you can just expand the option. I can say, if I say, show me 100, it will give me all the list. And do you see right here on the right side? Do you see? Based on the information that I put in the system in Work in Texas, the system will try to match me with that position. So it's telling me that with the current information that I have in my profile, it will tell me, okay, you have 58%, you match 58% for this position. You match 0%, you match 95%. How does the matching happen? It's based on the words that you pick and the resume that you put and the employment history you put. So the system will try to collect these keywords and will try to match you with the position, and it will tell you whether that is a perfect fit or not. Mm-hmm. Any question? And there will be a class hopefully sometime regarding Work in Texas, so that we can have a very good, clear picture of all the the resources that Work in Texas can offer for each of you. Okay, but just for introductory purpose, the reason I want to highlight this is this. I know most of us, when we think about resume, the first thing that comes to our mind is a structure, right? I hear people say, oh, my resume looks awful. It's terrible. It's not attractive. And people really stress on the outlook. They stress on what it looks like when you see it on the paper. But to be honest with you, 85% of employers nowadays, they don't care about the structure. They don't even care. They don't even take a minute to see what you have on your resume because they are super busy. Hiring managers, recruiters are super busy. They don't have time to go to different resumes one by one. So what do they do? Especially in healthcare and IT, because they have real hiring needs. Nowadays, they have come up with a kind of software and also machine. So they put your resume in that software or machine, and it will tell them how many keywords your resume has from the posting that they want. So for example, as a serialized technician, they will have list of keywords that they want from applicants. So when I take Miss Hamilton's resume, I'll put it in this software or machine, and then it will tell me, oh, okay, she has 85 words that you are looking for. And I'll say, okay, so her resume, so she is above average. So let's say the average is 50%. So her resume has 85 words which means, okay, we can schedule her for interview. That's it. Easy like that. If I say, oh, Michael's resume has only 25 words that we are looking for, and you say, okay, he's not a good candidate then. They don't even see what work experience I have. They don't even see what credentials I have because they're super busy. So most resume professionals nowadays, they tell you this again and again. Don't stress on the structure. Don't stress on what it looks like. Focus on the keywords. Focus on the information that you put on the resume. That's all it matters. Now you might be thinking, okay, then how would I know these keywords? Where would I get these keywords for the position that I'm going for? That is stressful, that's true. Unless you are a spirit, you wouldn't be able to read their mind. You wouldn't know what they're expecting. There is a way. There is a way to go around. So to find keywords, the first place that you go, the first place that I recommend you to go, if you are in Texas, is to this website, onitonline.org. This is another website owned by Texas Workforce Commission. onitonline.org. So when you type onitonline.org, and I'm going to share, my screen is moving from one to another for some reason. I will share this so that you will have it in text as well. onitonline.org. So when you click on that link that I sent you, you will go to this page, and then all you need to do is type your position. Like, for example, easy, sterilization technician, search. And it will give you list of titles that look like the one that you typed. So I'll go with medical equipment preparers. Here we go. Does everyone see my screen? That says online summary report for medical equipment preparers. Is that the screen that you see? Show me a sign.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you see the first option you see, this is the purpose or objective. Prepare, sterilize, install, clean laboratory or healthcare equipment, may perform routine laboratory tasks and operate or inspect equipment. That's that's a summary of the job, right? Mm-hmm. Those are some of the keywords that you need to have in your resume. One, because that's the main duty of the job. Two, do you see the second part that says sample reported job titles?
Yeah.
Do I need to make it a little bit? Do I need to zoom it? Is it good? You can say it?
Yes, I can see it.
So sample reported job titles. What this means is, I'm not sure the timing, but employers report to Texas Workforce. I'm not sure the duration. They report two things. One, they report the wage. That's how you are able to get unemployment benefits insurance. They are required to report wages. They are also required to report their position, what position they had, and what the job description is for that position. That's how Texas Workforce collects this information and put it on this website for the, to help job seekers utilize this information to be better prepared. So these are not just research. These are, raw data collected from employers. And these employers who hire for this position have reported that they have used these job titles. So you need to find ways to use some of these titles in your resume, because that's how employers recognize this position. Does that make sense? And even when you do your job search, don't limit yourself to one job title. You have to try to utilize these job titles to do your search as well. Because Baylor might do their posting on medical equipment preparers, but Medical City might use central processing technician. So when you do your search only on medical equipment preparer, then you won't be able to see this posting made by Medical Center because they used another title.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a very helpful website. The other thing, I love this website because it gives me a huge relief, especially when I work on job seekers' resumes. Why? I type the position like I did, and I come right here. It tells me what duties or tasks are involved on that role. So I don't have to worry about the type of verbiage that I need to put on the resume. I can't copy and paste everything because this is a public website. The way you see it, employers might see it as well. So if they see exactly the exact copy, they might say, oh, come on, she's lazy. She just copied and pasted from on it. No, you take it and personalize it. Make it sound like Jacqueline, make it sound like Miss Laurie, but you don't have to stress how you need to come up with a verbiage. You have a good verbiage there. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And if you can give me your attention for a few minutes, these are some of the things that I want you to focus. And we usually don't do this. And most of the resumes that I had a chance to critique, these are the basic things that they lack. You see right here, all the first words you see are called active verbs. They show actions. They are not passive. Operate, maintain, clean, record, organize, assemble, examine, report, maintain, stock, start. And you don't see that much redundancy. You don't see that much repeated words in each bullet point. If you use one word 3 times as an employer, what I feel is, oh, she's talking about one thing 3 times because you used one action verb. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So first, make sure you use active verbs that show some type of action. Second thing, don't repeat that word. If you run out of words, right click, go to Microsoft Word, copy this one, and then right click on that word and find for synonym. Could be the same thing, but with a different word. At least that way the employer doesn't think you are talking about the same thing twice, 3 times, 4 times. Okay? Do I need to pause? Any question? I know I'm going fast because I want to finish everything that I have in mind. But feel free to stop me anywhere. Yes, ma'am.
I have a question. You said don't use the word more than how many times?
It's recommended not to use more than one time,
Okay, gotcha.
especially right one after another. Sometimes I see people using operate, and I'm not gonna, that's it, you lost my interest. I will not be able to go to the next.
And see, that was my problem with my resume, because I'm still trying to critique mine too on the website. And it's just, it was just difficult for me to come up and try to come up with skills and to put it all into wording it. So it's like I kind of froze on it because my mind is not really on it per se. But this right here is a big tip, and that's what one thing I was doing was taking the word, and I was like you said, using taking the word that I was using over and over and finding synonyms.
Yeah, you just can copy the same thing and take it to a Word document and click on that word and find for a synonym. At least that way you're not repeating the same word.
So this is very helpful. Thank you so much for this tip.
Yes, ma'am. So on it, I really love on it. So one thing, okay, right here we're talking about active verbs. Okay, but I want you to think this as well. For example, if I am talking about my past work, for example, before joining Collaborate, like I said earlier, I was a supervisor. So when I put my previous position on my resume, if I am talking about my past role, I don't have to put it in a present tense. It has to be in a past tense. It can be present like this only if you are currently in that position. For two purposes. One, grammatically it's correct. You only use present for the things that you are currently doing. Grammatically, it's correct to use past tense for the previous jobs. So you can say operated, maintained, cleaned, recorded, organized, assembled, examined, reported. That's about past experience. One, you will be grammatically correct. Two, when you put action verbs in past tense, this is what you are communicating indirectly. You already have the skill set on that thing. You are not in a learning process. You did it, so you already have that skill set. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
As a bookkeeper, I'm just grabbing one example. As a bookkeeper, if someone tells me my previous duty was recording accounts, checking in, saving accounts, recorded checking in, saving accounts. So I as an employer, I would assume, okay, so that person knows how to work how to record checking and saving accounts. But if it is in a present tense, the person may have it, but it still is in the journey. So it's still on the learning process. Okay? Why am I saying this? Because I know you are going to a new industry. You might even say, okay, but for my new role, I know my past has nothing to contribute to. No. There is this thing called transferable skills. Did you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Transferable skills. Every job has some type of transferable skills toward any type of new employment. So if you put those transferable skills in a past tense, which means you have a little experience for the new job. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say, for example, you were a customer service rep in your past role. And so you know how to communicate with patients. You know how to communicate with customers, with management. So when you put that, you have one transferable skill to the new industry that you're going, which requires some type of communication. So it's really good to think of those transferable skills and put them in a past tense so that it will make the employer have confidence in your skill set. Okay? So on it online also has, it also tells you what type of technology skills are required for that position. If you scroll down, it tells you what type of knowledge is needed, tells you the skill required. So when you have when you go and create your Work in Texas profile, I would highly recommend you to expand this and then type and add all this in your profile. That way, when the system try to match you with postings, then you will have better lead because you have the skills. You remember earlier when I showed you, it tells me that it matched me with the posting. It says 58%, 22% matched for that position. It's based on these words. So whatever keywords you get for your resume, and take those keywords and put them in your profile in Work in Texas. So that Work in Texas will try to match you with the position, and it will, send you virtual leads. As soon as a new position comes up that meets your criteria, that meets your skill set, you will receive a notification, automatic notification from Work in Texas. Hey, you match for this job 58%. You want to look at it? You will receive automatic notifications. And the way to do that is basically by adding these skill related words or verbiage. Abilities required. Work. Oh, okay. I got a text from someone saying that they took their final exam and got 88%. Yay! There was one student who had a medical issue and she was not able to do it on both cases. So she was given a chance to take it. She got it. Okay, now I got more energy to do through the class. So I might make you stay 3 hours from now on. Is that okay? I got the energy now. Okay. It tells you the work activities required. I highly recommend you to go to this website and read everything line by line, because you are going to a new industry. That's a new role. So you see, it even tells you what type of work activities to expect. I know Harry is here and he's saying, oh my God, I wish California has something similar like this. It will make my work much easier, but this is Texas. They have everything from employers. I'm really impressed by this. I'm being honest. And I dealt with so many industries, and I can't tell you how relieving it is to see such information. Because me as a project coordinator, there is no way to know anything about bank teller. There is no way anything to know about a nurse unless I had some type of help from a website like this. So workforce professionals are able to help anyone from any industry because of this website. Okay. And so you go through each, and here is the other part that you would like. If you want to, push your career to another level, it will even tell you what type of licenses and certifications are available in that area. And it will even give you recommendations. It will give you a list of schools in Texas. The last part right here is the wage. Sometimes most employers may not do it. In your interview, they might ask you how much you want to make. And it's very hard to answer. And like I said in the last class, I don't answer those type of questions, but you can't say I don't answer, because you are in the interview and you're not going to sabotage that opportunity. So this is the way I respond to that question. When they ask me how much I want to make, I tell them, okay, I know what this industry pays in my role, in the position that I am applying for. So I expect competitive pay. That's it. That's the verbiage. I expect competitive pay. And they will say, some of them might push, okay, but give us a range. Okay, like I said, I know how much the industry pays for this position, So what is the company range? Tell me, and then I'll let you know. So I'm, throwing the question back at them. So first, when they ask me how much I want to make, I tell them I expect competitive pay. And then if they push me and ask me to give them some type of figure, then I would ask them, give me the range. And then when I respond, I will give them a range. Okay, we say, okay, our range is between 45 and 85. And I'll say, okay, you don't want to go lower. So I'll say, okay, I expect somewhere 55 to 65 or 85. I always will take the higher cap. I take the half, but I go a little bit further a little bit up from the bottom. So if they mention 45, I'll go for 55. And they're not going to say anything. This is not the time to negotiate on your salary. They're just asking as a means of screening. Because only HR, after you got the job offer, will do the negotiation with you regarding pay. So don't panic with that question. But where do you get that range is the challenge, because this is a new industry. So you come to online, online, you pick a state, put your zip code, like for example, 57515. This is because this is for Mesquite. But if I say 75243, I guess that used to be my previous, and then click go. You can put your zip code, and this is the page that you will see. It will give you the range. It will tell you how much that position pays, the minimum, the average, and the highest. I want you to consider the highest because you are going to be certified. Don't even think about the minimum, because you are far, far away from the minimum. Why? Because you took a course, and Texas does not require a certification yet. So why would you think of yourself on the bottom? That's for anyone who joins the industry with no education, with no know-how. So start here. Start from the average as a minimum and give them the highest. You play somewhere right here. Thank you, Riddle. Yes. So this is, and you can even scroll downward, and you will be able to see how much the position pays per county. So we are right here, Dallas-Fort Worth. 10% of them get 25,000. 25%, 29,000. 50%, 36,000. So this is where we start, at least from the median. Why? Because we are educated, and this is where we end up. Who knows? Some of you might even get higher than that. You never know, because employers are now considering the expensive lifestyle coming to Texas. So there are some employers who are offering a very, very good wage. So, but I just play with that one. So this is a very good information. Okay, we're done with on it online. So this is one of the websites that you go to get those keywords. We good with that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
And there is another website that I want to introduce you to. It's called My Next Move. Since you are new to this industry, I would highly recommend you, when you have a time, to go to this website, My Next Move. When you type My Next Move, and before you type, when you type My Next Move, and I will put this in the chat as well, and then you go ahead and click on find sterilization technician as a new. This is basically for those who are going to a new industry. So it helps you plan your path for your new role. So you type the position and then click search. The same thing, that's the position that we are looking for. This will give you a map. Just like onetonline.org, this will briefly give you the knowledge required for that position, skills, abilities, personality, technology, education, job outlook, and explore more. And I highly recommend, especially for young adults. In my role at workforce, when I see someone between the age of 16 to 24, I ask them, what do you want to do for your life? And they say, I don't know. Okay, let's go to my next move. I will help them type different positions they know and print this page and give it to them. Go ahead, when you get a chance, go through each and which one looks appealing to you.